Hey guys, what's going
Hello,
on?
what's up?
You are here. You are in the
Yes.
place to be. You're
Yeah.
just having the experience of the
Spice.
spice.
Ah ha 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 ha
Ooh,
ha.
ooh, ooh, give it some more.
Yeah. Give me some
Some
more.
more life. Yeah.
Life.
Life, life,
Life,
life.
life, life.
Very good. So, how are you doing today, Angela?
I am doing well. Doing well. And yourself?
Very well, I think. You run away, run
Run
away. Remember
away.
that song? Still don't know what it means. I'm sure if I just me saying, oh, let me explain what it means. It's an English song from back,
Yeah.
but
So
I,
you guys can tell that we have a younger one
French
in the
song or
house.
something.
Yes.
Yeah, I
These little
mean,
nursery
so,
rhymes. So we got
and
them
I'm sure
all in
there's
our
some,
head.
yeah, and it could be something to somebody say, you know what that really means. You might want to be careful. So it may be something to it. I don't know. I guess I'll be careful with,
Yeah.
um, but some certain verbiage, certain things, certain words, certain
Hmm.
stories can actually be of benefit.
Yes.
Have analogies, be inspirational. Have what you call the moral of the story is.
Yes.
Moral of the
There
story is.
is.
Mm 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 mm. Right?
I like when there's a moral to the story
Why do you like that?
because it sinks in. When there's more to the story, you're able to remember, you're able to relate, and it's all good for you, all good for me. So it's more of a self thing. I'm like, oh yeah, I can take away something from that. I could learn from that. That's something that I could relate to.
It's all
Or I
good.
can, I can actually, look at this and I can take from it and I can use this in my life. The moral of
Yeah.
the story is
She can use it in her life. Very good.
yeah.
You know what? Let's get right into it. So give me an example of something that you think, man, I like this. Let me present this to my peoples. What you got?
It's storytelling time, folks.
Storytelling time. Let me do
All
the
right.
theme. Storytelling
Story
time
time.
with Chris
And
and
Chris.
Angela.
Yay. All right. So this is how to hunt. This story is about how to hunt a monkey. So this story is about letting go. Okay. So let's get to it.
I was gonna say no. I was wondering like if you told the story first before it was you presented, but it don't matter. I
All
don't
right.
know. That's
We'll do
see
that
what
next
little
time.
pet peeve stuff I got.
Yeah,
It
okay.
does not mean a hill of beans, brother. Whether that happens or not.
Right,
But anyway, go
right.
ahead. So
He
hopefully
just
she
had to say
forgives me
it.
and be
I
right. I can't
forgive
help
you.
her.
I
Yeah.
forgive you. The moral story. Yeah. All right.
Let it
So
go.
here we go. It says, "Do you know how hunters of old used to trap a monkey?" A man asked his child. "Rather than chasing them up a tree or shooting arrows from below, they'd put a heavy glass jar with an arrow neck. I'm sorry, not arrow, a narrow, oops, a
Hmm.
narrow neck on the floor, which had the monkey's favorite food inside. They then stepped back and hide, waiting for the unsuspecting animal to approach. When it did, the monkey would reach inside, clench a fist around the food, and try to pull it out. However, the narrow neck of the jar would stop the poor monkey from getting its hand
Wow.
out. I'd pull and pull, but to no avail.
Mm-mm.
There was simply no way to get its hand out of the jar without releasing the food. Rather than letting go, though, the monkey would pers- persevere, refusing to drop its dinner. The hunters would then approach, catch it, to enjoy a meal of their own. Never thought
Monkey
about
tonight.
eating a monkey. Ew. So don't be like that monkey, warned the man. In life, to fight another day and grow as a person, you must know when to quit, when to move on, when to let go of whatever's holding you back. So the moral of the story is sometimes you have to let go to give up what you have now in order to receive something better in the future. Don't let stubbornness be your downfall.
That can creep up on you too.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, you got that. Could be careful. It could look in the case of the monkey, not letting go could cost you your very life.
That's true. Because
It can be life changing, if anything.
Yeah, it could be life changing, but in some instances, when you think about it, when you're holding on to something, that could affect your stress. That could affect. Let's say your emotions could get to you, and other things could happen that could cause your life.
Yeah.
So, time and time again, you see stories in news with people like they didn't let go of certain situations, and it caused the life of themselves or somebody else. But that's very out there. So let's get it on to a normal level for normal people. So let's say that you are,
Yeah, I was gonna say I can do that.
yeah. Let's say that there is something holding you back. Um, that could be it could be a way that you feel about yourself. Let's take it to a self thing. Let's say that you're not happy with how you look, or
Hmm.
you're not happy with how things are going. Uh, and let's think about this. To your best of your ability, there are things that you can't even control. You just gotta let it
Right.
go and move on. Somebody could have said something about you or to you or something. And I'm gonna say this: people do that all the time, and they could just, to be nothing to it. They just miserable and just want you to be miserable. So let's let it go. And well, one thing that Chris always
Right.
say, he said it first. I think I heard it from him. Let it go so you can grow, and that's
Well,
exactly what it say.
but I heard it from Les Brown. Giving his props. Great speaker. Um, let it go. Cold doesn't bother. Let me give you another analogy on that.
Yeah.
Man, because this thing goes so many dimensions. We can
Mm-hmm.
probably talk about it for me. So, thinking about what happened to the monkey, sometimes people don't realize because they are so invested, are so they're built to. Again, I think we had just another episode that talked about sometimes in our life, in our childhoods, where we're naturally innate just to hold on to stuff.
Mm.
We're naturally innate to kind of waddle in it, so to speak, because we grew up that way.
Yes.
Not me, siblings, family. So it's almost takes effort to fall out of that. So this the same thing. The monkey, this delicious morsel, this favorite treat, it's just like I've never not let it go. If I saw it there, I grab it. So I don't know in my mind, and so because the monkey didn't do that or couldn't figure out how to make the change, it damaged something. So let's say, for instance, that kind of personality is in a relationship. If they can't change or make the adjustment over time, they can erode and damage their relationship with their mate because they're not letting stuff go.
Oh yeah.
If you know by order and things, it makes sense. It's biblical. It's a lot of business sense. It's always best to 99, we talk about this all the time. 99% of the time, it's just not even worth it to hold on to it. Not even worth it from a business standpoint,
Mm-hmm.
from a family standpoint, from a health standpoint, from a life standpoint, from a self standpoint, from a mate standpoint. You gotta let it go.
Yeah. And if you think about the life, where this monkey lost his life, but let's think about this. Let's tweak this a little bit. You can lose a life in losing time,
You can lose
and
friendships.
being like, hey, I wasted my time on this. I could have,
That's
I feel a negative way about it. That's to me, time happiness is life. You losing happiness
that comes back.
over that.
That comes back to us again when we were talking about the emotion thing. That's what the psychologist was talking about. How long is this going to emotionally affect you in some way? A month, a week? Because every time, every moment that you do it, it comes back. Whatever, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your own personal time. And if it bothers you enough, you'll start trying to waste other people's time with it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the damage comes in because you damage yourself first. That's always going to be the first person you're going to damage in these not letting stuff go,
Yeah,
and then start damaging others around you. And that's where the erosion starts.
it does. And you think about it, it's eating away at your life.
No benefit at all.
No benefit. And how is that? You're right. It's just a
Because you
waste of
never
time.
get the morsel. It's not like you're going to get something like, oh, that's a relief because I held on to it and got some reward. The monkey never got the reward because he didn't let it go. He
But
didn't
the
wait for another day. Didn't go on and live in the present and search out another way to get that.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good. That is a good.
Monkey tonight.
That's a good one. So, do you have one?
Yeah, I mean it's several. I was talking to somebody else about this, how um, we can talk our way out of things to make it okay,
Mm-hmm.
which is could be a good or a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we it was another one about the nature. So I'll talk about the one that's more popular, the one about the nature. So and once I say, you'll understand why I say the
Okay.
nature. So you had the scorpion, of course, couldn't swim on the other side of a lake, and he was like, "Man, I need to get over there. I got stuff to do. Gotta get home. I gotta take care of business." And he happened upon a duck, and the duck was like, he can tell the duck was looked like it's about to get in the water, but he's like, "Hey, before you can I get on your? I need to get over there." And the duck is like,
Mm-hmm.
"Well, I've heard about you scorpions, especially you, Mister Scorpion. You have a tendency to
Mm-hmm.
sting people, and I'm not in the business of being sting, so I'm good." The scorpion like, no. Listen, man, I'm about business. I gotta get over there. I don't know. I ain't got time for what you talking about. If you can do me a solid, get me over there, man. I'd be much appreciated. Promise you. I'm just trying to get over there. I'm trying to make it. I got stuff to do. And Doug's like, well, I guess that would make sense because yeah, okay. You know what? Okay. I'm on my way there. Let's go. Hop on back. So he hops on and they chatting and everything. They're just going, oh, yeah, my wife said that. And then I got this, I'm probably going to get promoted. I can't wait. And then like halfway in, it gets a little quiet and the scorpion stings the duck. And the duck is like, wait, what?
Yeah.
What'd you do that for, man? Not only
Yeah.
have you just stung me, but we both getting ready to drown. We gonna both die. And the scorpion is like, yeah, you know what? You're right. That's gonna happen. I really did want to get on the other side, but I couldn't help it, man. It's in my nature. I'm a stinger. I got this thing I was born with, and I have yet to get rid of it. So
Mm-hmm.
the analogy is sometimes people can't help themselves and they do stuff within their nature. We can make adjustments. We can get better.
Mm-hmm.
Just because we were born or grew up a certain way don't mean we have to be like that. But it's so difficult to change the nature of others. And that's on one side of the coin. Another side is sometimes, again, I like to refer to things when it comes to relationships. If you come across a man or a woman and one think they could change, one of them people, come across somebody in a relationship, they think they can change the other, especially with young people. And it's difficult because certain qualities are in their nature. So it could change, but it's going to be a lot of growing pains. And don't get in a relationship just banking on the fact that you're going to change a person. Get in a relationship knowing that I can live with the person that I'm seeing right in front of me. Because certain qualities of a person will always be in their nature. Like if a person has a tendency to talk a lot, I have a person that lives in our household that we love, have a tendency to talk a lot. It's in their nature. They don't probably even realize, but they just talk. They'll talk to themselves. If nobody talk to, they record themselves talking. That's how much they like to talk. But it's in their nature. Don't make them a bad person, but it's just in their nature.
Yeah. And
That's
one
all I'm gonna say.
and one thing that I thought about too, and this is another caveat to this, is that when you know this, when you get to know someone and you know them, so you know what, how they were in the past. Let's say this person, either told you their story or you know them. So whenever they do things, just like, we talk about a person that we know that lives in our house that talk a lot. Or if you know of someone that is a certain way, so whatever qualms or whatever personality they have, you're used to it, or you don't take it as hard, especially when this is in their nature. So you don't have a negative feeling about it, because what can you do if that's in a person's nature? That's exactly how they're going to do. You're not going to get you're not going you'll be less offended if they do when they do or say something out the way. If that's part of their personality, or that that's something that they're working on, and they've always said that, or they've always been this way, that's their nature, and they've been making improvements and stuff, so you're not gonna take it as hard.
So another animal mentioned that you would have to be like when it comes to what Angela was talking about, where oh man, this is a quality, this is what it is. is the badger, the honey badger. The honey badger has what you call this kind of thick hide. There's two qualities about a honey badger. They got this thick hide. They're very fearless, and they have something within some chemicals within their body that if they're even bit by certain poisonous snakes, not only do they not die, what'll happen is a lot of times they'll just go to sleep and wake back up. Whereas if me and her get bit by the same snake, we out. That's it. Our life's over. So sometimes when it comes to the quality of somebody that you know, okay, that's kind of part of their quality, I can deal with that. Develop that, I can deal with that kind of thing. Like the honey badger, have a thick hide, be able to, wade through that. And you don't want to be like that duck, whereas you get stung, that's it for you. So sometimes you do have to have a thicker skin, especially like Angela said, which is what's usually the case with most people in friendships, relationships, all that. You usually see the efforts
Yes.
that people try to make.
Yes. So,
Effort is very important, not perfection, but effort.
yeah, and you have to recognize that too. Be encouraging to them, and tell them, hey, I noticed that you've been working on that. You're doing a great job at that.
Right.
Give some accommodation for that too.
But don't go around being shocked if somebody has been known to have a certain way, and then all of a sudden you're like, I can't believe it's in their nature. They've done it before. You know that. Why are you acting like this new?
Just like the scorpion.
It's in there. Get used to it. So yeah, that's kind of a two-sided thing.
All right, so let's do another story, guys. So this is about the elephant and the rope. So it says one day a man walked past a camp of elephants. Looking closer, he was surprised to see that these mighty animals weren't held in cages or kept in chains. The only thing stopping them from escaping, a thin rope tied from one of their legs to a simple pole in the ground. Confused as to why they didn't use their strength to break the rope, he asked the trainer why they weren't attempting to run away. To this, the trainer replied, as baby elephants, we use the same system, but at that age, the rope is strong enough to stop them from escaping. They grew up like this, believing that they can never break the rope. So even as adults, they stay put. In other words, these powerful, magnificent, and intelligent elephants didn't believe they could free themselves, so they never tried. Moral of the story, our personal beliefs are powerful beyond measure and often dictate our outcomes. They can work for or against us. So identify your limiting beliefs so you can push against them.
Ooh.
So to me, what that says to me is, and I think that I pushed past a lot of my things as growing up, and Chris helped me, is believing in myself a little bit more, If there is something that I want or a goal that I have, I want to achieve, or if there's something I'm working towards and I'm using something, thing that I think that is like, okay, I would never be able to do this because of this, type of way of thinking that I had, that was holding me back. So my own thinking was holding me back from things that I didn't think that I could have or pursue or whatever. So to be honest with you guys, that just should be holding you back. You can do it. Whatever goals and stuff that you want to achieve, you can do it. I mean, and also too, in regard, and I know this is like another analogy of elephant. How can you eat a whole elephant? Is you just bite off a piece one at a time. But when you talk about a goal, regardless how big it is, just taking steps toward that, just do it. If it's a goal, something that's going to make you happy, you can achieve it, you can do it. Do it. And don't let any negative things about what you think about yourself. You just never know how other people see you. We are the biggest criticism or critics, I'm sorry, we're the biggest critics of ourselves. So when you hear other people say things about you and you be like, oh, I do that a lot. I put myself, I'll be like, anytime somebody say something positive, I'm like, but, I have a but after that. But I stop doing that. I practicing not doing that. I'll just say, thank you, I appreciate it. But also I need to internalize the fact that, hey, you're negative on yourself a little bit too much, that is a positive thing someone said about you. You know, you need to believe it. I mean, I'm not that my head's going to do this, but take what they say and just, just go with it. Chris said a lot of positive stuff to me, but then I'll say to him, come back with a negative thing.
Chop it
Or
right
I
down.
say, I can't do it, I don't know, but he's helped me to overcome that. So,
As I'm sitting here listening, I just realized it's almost, I'm talking about what you just said. Never thought about it like this way, but we think about it now. It's almost like you're a turtle. You're more comfortable with that way. If there's a disappointment, you like I already said, I'm not this, I'm not that. So if I say, man, she's beautiful, man, uh, it's I'm comfortable here, so I
hmm
don't have to accept or I won't believe and past stuff, whatever. But to your same point, I
yeah.
just thought about another analogy, a true to life analogy,
hmm
actually about the fleas.
Oh, yeah.
So, and that's how they used to train, and people heard this analogy, the circus fleas. They're back in days, especially over in Europe, they would have where they could have a little thing in the town. They would come to these small towns and show where they can have the fleas moving around. They stay in that little circus thing they set up, and they able to do it. And they was asking him, how is he able to do that? And what he said is that, when he first had a flea, he would put it in a jar and
hmm
tighten a clear cap, and the flea technically could jump a million miles beyond, but it would hit the cap.
Wow.
And over time, it would hit the cap, and there was more fleas. There was, fleas begot fleas when you put fleas in there, and they all kind of
Yeah.
realized that one hit. Okay, this is our limits. Then he said, I just took the cap off. I would put them, but they never jumped beyond
hmm
what their muscle memory of that cap was, even though they could.
Wow.
Once in a while, and it's similar to what you said about going beyond limits, test it.
Yeah.
Once in a while, test it. Maybe you have like you said in the previous analogy, okay, I'm going to live to fight another day. I didn't reach it. I didn't get what I wanted, but I'm try again another time.
Yeah.
Try another
Yeah. Keep
way.
on
Look at
trying.
other ways. Get other advice. Ask the other flea, hey flea, did you try? Have
Exactly.
you tried jumping a little higher? Well, man, everybody can jump it. I mean, I always knew we jumped it. Maybe something happened. I don't know. Let me try and
Yeah.
try to go beyond.
Yeah.
Find ways to go
Yeah.
beyond.
And think about even with the flea or with the elephant. They were young. They were baby elephants. They couldn't get from that. But at a different time, at a different size, a different moment. Hey, they could have, but guess what? They didn't try. So you got to try. Over time, you may develop certain skills, or you've matured. As time go by, keep trying whatever goal you are. Just keep that. Don't stop. Don't stop. If there's something you want to do, you can. You'll be able to achieve
Two
it.
things that limit us in some form of fashion, I'm keeping it real simple, is rejection or a form of disappointment.
hmm
So you can say, "Oh man, I want to do that. Have you went over and asked so and so?" No, man, they just gonna say no. So it's like a fear of rejection, and then say, "Oh man, I want to play with them." Are you good enough? I don't think I'm good enough. I'm not gonna go over there. And belief. So again, it kind of comes back to what I was saying, Angela, with the turtle. Sometimes we just kind of want to stay in our comfort zone,
Yeah.
and we never, um, speaking of Lesbian, you never reach your greatness, or you never get to a point where your unique skills about yourself are never tapped into to benefit you and others.
hmm
So the best way to look at it sometimes is like, man, I'm a keep this away from people. I'm not even gonna give them the privilege of a certain skill, whether
Oh
you're a
yeah.
writer, or some
Oh yeah.
mathematician, technically sound, whatever. You're denying others your gifts.
Exactly. I love to be encouraged by other people. And when you see their talents and stuff, that gets you like, oh yeah, they're able to do this. I can do. It don't have to be the same thing, but it helps motivate another person or myself to get past whatever obstacles we have within ourselves to do what we need.
Yeah.
We want to do.
And that's something we can always work on. I imagine that if I had someone tell me, "Oh man, I believe in you, you do this, you're amazing, all that," and then I tell other people stuff about themselves, I imagine either way, it's going to have a great effect. 'Cause I know I would
Yeah.
feel good if I hear it. And I think others will feel when you, and I know I sincerely mean it when I say it. I think it'd make a difference in someone's life, whether they, reach 1,000,000 miles or a couple of miles above. It would motivate. I think it would motivate them versus saying, "Oh, they're typical. You're not gonna do nothing."
Yeah.
So we do. Everybody needs a little motivation.
Yeah. Another thing that I thought about too is the imperfections of getting to your goal, that you know that you've had roadblocks, whatever, but a person that kept going, I'm inspired by the fact that this person kept going despite whatever was in there that, you know, them blocking.
Didn't make
They,
excuses. It
they
kept
went
going.
around that and they
Yeah,
kept moving and they kept going.
yeah. They stayed
That's
determined.
reality. That is going to happen. You're going to have those blocks. You're going to need to, okay, they
But
went around it.
identify them.
Identify them, and it makes you better at the next hop or the next stop. You're gonna like, that happened, but you know what? Let me keep going. Let me keep going. I'm gonna get there. Let me keep going. I love those. I love to see that. I love to see, despite and people, the most successful folks have so many blocks in front of them, and they are really, you go back and read their stories and how they got to where they got. They had so many people telling them no. They had so many roadblocks, and no, we don't. And they gave so many reasons as to why. And the reason that they say that they wouldn't give them opportunity then is mind blown.
But here's the thing: those people that you see super, super successful. I'm not talking about people that inherited something, but you see the people you saw their growth and their success, and they earn it because they never knew they couldn't do it. Even though they hear, like you say, no, those were normal. Oh, okay, well, go this way then. It was normal. So you think about, not that these are people that I look up to, but you look at the stories of a person like a Bill Gates, or look at the story of a Elon. You'll find that these people thinking is that they didn't know that you could not be successful at something. Or you look
Exactly.
at certain people that have been able to have a positive impact on people as far as how they speak or talk or encourage, or the technical skills, poets, singers, dancers, racers like the Usain Bolt. These people with these skills and gifts, they don't, even though they do have to deal with rejection, like Angela said, that's a fact. They never in the end thought that it wasn't going to happen though. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like most people you talk to, like the guy that used to own Amazon, but what's his name?
Jeff Bezos.
If you listen to him, he didn't envision not being successful. He just was trying to figure out how I'm gonna get there, but I just gotta get there. That was never the question of not getting there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So this is the thing. Do not give up. Don't listen to people telling you no. There's always a way.
Don't stop
way.
believing. This is Chris.
It's not a straight path. You're gonna
Yeah.
get there. Don't let nobody tell you no.
You're gonna make it after all.
It's gonna happen for you. It's gonna happen for
Angela, I enjoyed this segment.
you.
It was an amazing.
Too. Yes.
Guys, I hope you appreciate it.
Yes.
And really been a benefit
Yes.
to some of the spice or life flavoring that we've added.
That's right. And we got more for you. Just like, subscribe, follow, and we'll give you more inspiration, more encouragement.
All right, y'all have a good.
More spice.
Give her and you some more.
Like. Goodbye.